When it comes to movie remakes, reboots, reimaginings, prequels, any of those things, for me personally, it's never usually worth it. There's always some little tweak they made that ruins everything for me and puts a sour taste in my mouth, making me think, maybe I'm not about this life. Maybe I don't like reboots and remakes and all those other things. The movies that I want them to remake, the movies that I think deserve to be remade, never get touched. But we get like a bazillion fucking Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Streets and Halloweens and shit like that. Generic slasher movies that you can do over and over and over again. You can make the kills look grosser and grosser, but it's going to lose its novelty. There's only so much that you can do with that formula before it all just becomes bland and you've seen it and you no longer care. They're driving shit into the ground. From a horror standpoint, nah fam, can't really do it anymore. There's a couple excuses that I will make, there's a couple exceptions to that rule that I will make, but they will never touch that shit. But when it comes to other forms of cinema, I'm pretty down with it. I mean, they just did the One Piece live action season 2. A live adaptation of One Piece, my favorite anime, one of my favorite shows and pieces of media across the board. And that is fucking hitting. The characters are great, the actors, the casting decisions are great. Some of these moments transferred out of a cartoon depiction into live action is really just like hitting me hard in the feelings and breaking my heart and making me cry and all that stuff. But when it comes to movies, it has not worked for me. So the question this week is, what are some horror movies or movies in general that deserve remakes and reboots, and what are some that don't deserve it at all, that they should have never made, should be thrown into the fiery pits of media hell? I've been trying to watch season 2 little by little whenever I have a small chance. I've been really busy with work and working on projects and rehearsing things and getting back into shows, so I want to make sure I'm nice and crisp after 2 months of not doing shit. But we back in this bitch. Back up on plug. I was going to try to come home last night and watch one more episode, no matter how late it was, because I knew I didn't have to work today. It's podcast day. It's show day. I took the day off. But unfortunately, at work, around 9 o'clock, some motherfucker tainted some food in the break room at work, and I tried to have it, and I went into an allergic reaction, anaphylaxis. I had to just OD on Benadryl and stuff, and I fell asleep at work, I fell asleep in the car, and I fell asleep when I got home. There was so much sleeping, and I was completely conked out that One Piece was not even in my fucking mind. Just get that rest, big boy. But I got some time after this bitch drops, and I'm probably going to watch 1 or 2 episodes and then get ready for the show tonight. So I can't do that if I'm still doing the opener. So let's fucking transition into this shit. Grab a drink, grab some food, get comfy, put on your pajamas, turn that shit up in your car. I don't know where you are, what you're doing. It doesn't fucking matter. Let's kill some time. Let's go.
What you doing, son? Nothing. Just chilling. True.
What did you just say to me?
I said the fucking gig's up, pretty boy. It's time for me to federally inspect those balls.
When it comes to movie remakes and reboots, the internet is kind of 50-50 on it. Yes, they want more media, they want more things to watch. Maybe their childhood favorites are coming back, but a lot of the time, you look in comment section, people say, no, this is not needed. Why would they do that? You're ruining it. Should have stayed in the past. That's kind of the point of today. I thought this was going to be a topic that we're going to get a colorful cast of answers for. People are going to be like picking their favorites, their least favorites, all that. A lot of what we saw, the results of this question, is they all had the same opinion. You know, besides a couple outliers, but most of the people had the same opinion. We're going to address that opinion, and then when it comes to me, I'm giving you my answers, but then a list of movies that I thought were incredible and a list of movies that I think they shouldn't do. Just because we didn't get as many answers as we hoped, since everybody seemed to be in complete agreement. This was sort of like asking people in like the mid-2000s what the worst band of all time was, and then everyone just going Nickelback, 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 Nickelback. It's gotta be Nickelback. Fuck Chad Kroeger. It's like that. But movie-wise, I guess the movie version of this would be like Morbius, Morbius, Morbius. That fucking Jared Leto Spider-Man movie, yeah, fuck that guy. But let's dive into what people had to say, and we'll see if I agree, if I disagree, and what I have to say after all of that. So let's look at the comments. Will Mercier says, I didn't think that we needed a remake of Goodnight Mommy. And I didn't know that that was a remake. And then I realized, oh shit, they made one 8 years after the first one. I only knew about the 2014 one. Apparently there's a 2022 one, and the internet is just across the board going, nah, not as good as the original. This was unneeded. So I will agree with you, because I saw the first one and I thought that was perfectly creepy. And 8 years is far too small of a time for you to justify a remake. My boy Damien brought a lot of names to the table, saying the Omen remake brought nothing new and was completely unnecessary. But the Nightmare on Elm Street remake highlighted Freddy's depravity, and Jackie did a very good job on the character, but it was still very unnecessary. Both The Day the Earth Stood Still and the late 90s Psycho remake was way unnecessary. And I will agree with the Omen remake being unnecessary, the Nightmare one being good, but unneeded. And I haven't watched the other two, so I can't chime in on that. Nobody seems to give me remake ideas that should happen. Everyone's just saying these are unnecessary. Hold on, let me search a little deeper. I can't speak, am I having a stroke? Okay, here we go. Jaden says Nightmare on Elm Street was not even worth laughing at. But they would do a remake of Alice in Wonderland, as long as it's not like one of those Tim Burton versions or something. Solid. Mike says Jason X. I'll be honest, I haven't watched Jason X like since I initially watched it a long fucking time ago. But I remember the fucking javelin metal pipe kill, and I remember the liquid nitrogen face smash kill, and both of those would go hard as fuck in a movie that was made today. I also think if they were to remake it, they should wait for it to be like the 20-year anniversary or something like that. And then you can release it as Jason XX 20-year remake or something. I think that would be pretty cool. But then from there on out, a lot of people had the same exact idea. They shouldn't do reboots and remakes. And some people even specifying they shouldn't do reboots or remakes of big slashers. And that's where I mostly agree with. I mostly agree. Especially when they're doing a real good job at these newer killers. Like you got Art the Clown, which isn't my cup of tea, but like I see the appeal and it's fucking marketable and people love it. Also, you got things like The Jester, which is really, really good. Saw is still doing stuff. Saw is still pretty fucking good. You got all these holiday killers like Thanksgiving Guy, and you got Hard Eyes and all these things. Like, you can keep this shit going. Gone are the days of Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and fucking Leatherface. Because it's been done into the ground and nothing new and exciting has ever developed out of that. But one comment in particular articulated my opinion perfectly. Because Shara started off by saying Red Dawn. That movie worked for its time, but the remake was super forgettable. And Flatliners too. But her take is they're always remaking movies. Like, they're so arrogant. They actually think they can make a great thing better every time they fall short, because the movie was already great. Leave it alone when it's great. Remake the movies that weren't great. Take the idea, make it work. Stop rebooting greatness. They're banking on nostalgia to sell their movie instead of hard work and new ideas. I couldn't have said it any better. So with that said, I'm going to give you my list of movies that should have not been named, and it's pretty much the concept of what you just said. It was based solely on banking on nostalgia and arrogance and laziness, and those are reasons why they should not happen. And then I'll give you some movies, some deeper cuts, that should happen. Now I have chosen 3 movies on each side of things. The ones that should have not been made are very on brand for me, but I feel like the ones that I wish they remade are a little out of left field. Okay, first off, the 2008 remake of Prom Night did not need to happen. In fact, I didn't even want there to be a sequel of Prom Night. Hello Mary Lou was not good. They completely changed everything that I loved about that movie, and then somehow made it worse than it could have been. I don't understand it, I don't agree with it, none of that. But not only should it not have existed as a remake, they made 4 other sequels. It is a 5-part movie franchise that they then remade, and it just progressively gets worse. The magic was in the original one. Jamie Lee Curtis is a scream queen. She did a great job in that movie. The killer was just menacing and also very practical. Could be anybody. No frills, no thrills. Just fucking running after you, stabbing you, and watching you from the shadows. Perfection. 2008 can go fuck itself. My second pick is another atrocity from the mid-2000s. The 2005 The Fog remake. This is one of the problems with mid-2000s remakes, is they tried to make everybody super attractive and fit this fucking box, instead of just making the movie good and having great visuals and a strong story. They're like, okay, hot person lost in the fog, race against time so that the fog and the evil sailor ghosts don't take him, but he's also hot. We don't need that shit. Jamie Lee Curtis, once again, and Tom Atkins did an incredible job, and neither of them were remotely attractive in their time. They just knew how to act, they knew how to sell, they knew the drama. It was perfect for its time. It did not need to be remade, especially how it was remade. I feel like I could go on and on and on with just mid-2000s remakes, because across the board, they all sucked. Or at least weren't good enough to warrant being that remake that was remade. Look at these and go, that's a movie, yeah, but why did it happen? That's 2001 to like 2008. There were so many, and they all sucked. And lastly, which is my unpopular opinion about this whole entire thing, and I know the 4 people that are listening to this are probably going to hate me for this, but the new It movies. It did not need to be remade. They also didn't need to make him look like a complete bitch. I do not like the Pennywise remake look. Skarsgård did great in his performances, but this was not needed. They could have kept the essence of it and made it completely something different. Or I don't know. I don't think it should have been made. Original It was terrifying. Tim Curry was a madman who was nightmare fuel. The cast did a great job. It should have just stayed that movie that you show your fucking younger siblings or younger cousins or something and ruin their lives with. But it should not have been remade. and I will die on that hill. Sorry, not sorry. Now it's time for movies that should be remade, and I have some polls for these. These are not exactly what you would expect me to put out there. 2 of them are not horror, which is automatically like, what? But yes, just stay with me here. First up, I got the 1988 horror movie Black Roses. I think this would thrive because Satanic Panic is back, baby. It's alive and well, much to my chagrin. So it's like the mindset that anything you listen to or watch or surround yourself with is indoctrinating you, making you become something. So having a movie like this be remade, having a rock band come to a small town, start turning people into mindless slaves and zombies, it would be very effective. But it would also make the whole bunch of cunty old people that run everything in this fucking nation once again think movies are real life and the fucking water is turning the frogs gay or whatever. Next up, as much as I love this movie, I feel like we could get away with a reboot. Drop Dead Gorgeous from 1999. I mean, hell, we already live in a time where literally everything is a competition, and people will stop at nothing for validation and success. So why not have a movie where people are trying to become Miss Teen Princess and willing to kill and sabotage and ruin everybody's life to become Miss Teen Princess? I mean, that's just a fucking movie with the times right now. I feel like this one would do well. I also think it was perfect for its time, but with a couple quirks and changes to make it modern, I could see this working. Have a couple pop stars in there, a couple of the people who are in like every movie, like Sydney Sweeney or some shit like that. Have a couple old heads that have been in the game for a long time be the judges. Yeah, we could get away with this easily. But lastly, and probably my deepest cut, because I can almost guarantee nobody listening to this or watching this will know or remember or maybe even heard of this movie. But California Suite from 1978. I mean, it's been almost 50 years now. We should probably do California Suite. And how can you advance a cast that is so perfect? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, enough time has passed that people who were very young in the game when this came out are older now, so you can fill the roles of the older people who were in these movies. But how can you progress on something like Michael Caine and Maggie Sue, along with Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor, Jane Fonda and Alan Alda? I mean, that's an elite level casting right there. I have a couple names. I don't exactly know the roles that they would fit, but I feel like they would work with this. You got like big name Hollywood actors, people who are seasoned in comedy and drama, and people who could fill the role of like the nerdy guy or like the comedic dude in the group, or just like a person to throw in there just to throw a curveball, you know? I was trying to figure out like another chick who was in that age group that could be thrown in there, or at least like another old man that could take Walter Matthau's place. I couldn't think of anything, but the movie would just be so good and so easy to make nowadays that like, bro, we need to bring attention to this fucking movie. It is great. The whole story with this is 4 groups of people, couple couples, couple families and stuff. They're all going out for a vacation. They're taking time off. They're traveling across the country to California Suite, a very fancy and renowned hotel and suite resort. On the way there, things happen, struggles happen, comedy, drama, all that shit. And then everyone goes through their own trials and tribulations throughout the entire story, and they all get cataloged in like an anthology setting. All these different people in this exact same setting. It is very good. It is very funny. It's definitely a thing of its time. But I feel like it wouldn't be hard to remake nowadays, and the concept would be really, really good. And I don't know of any movies like that over the last like 30 years. We could do California Suite. Yo, Hollywood, call me up. I'll dish out some money that I don't have, and we'll make this shit real. Trust me.
Raw. Suck it right out the wrap my lips around it.
It's Friday, there's new music, and goddamn, we're gonna suck it all up because there's some good shit out there today. I didn't know some of this shit dropped. And then I just looked at my phone and went, oh, we got spoiled. And I even got some ones that I've listened to earlier in the week. We're going to talk about one or two of those, and then a couple of the ones that I really fucked with today. The band Drop Dead Gorgeous dropped an EP this morning called Ghost. I didn't know that it was coming out, but I was waiting for it. And goddamn, am I happy that it dropped, because this slaps from start to finish. It's like they never left. All of the singles that they've dropped since coming back are on here, plus two others, and they're just as good as they ever were. I'm listening to this multiple times, smile on my face, head banging. I'm not usually one that loves clean singing in songs with screams, but they make it work because this band is a time capsule. No matter if it was like 10, 15 years or whatever since the last album, it still sounds like the good old Drop Dead Gorgeous, and it makes my heart smile. Ghost is a strong opener, but I think my favorite of this whole thing is still 6 Feet. My least favorite is Burn, but I mean, like, I'd still give Burn like a solid B-. Like, it's not bad by any stretch. This EP, though, as a whole, solid A. Great shit by Drop Dead Gorgeous. UnityTX just dropped a new album called Somewhere in Between. Honestly, it's somewhere at the bottom. This is probably their worst album, in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's complete poop from a butt, but it's not as good as Ferality, and that only had like 2 songs on it that I liked. It was a chore for some of this. Some of the songs were pretty cool, though, but we're kind of lazy in the songwriting department. Like, yeah, you can do hip-hop beats and then just immediately break down, but so many fucking bands do that. What you need to do, and I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, especially because you're not going to fucking hear this, is you need to find that common ground between everything. Maybe guitars over a hip-hop kind of inspired backbeat or something. Hip-hop synthesizers over metal, something like that. Maybe a certain pattern to your voice. You can't just the same fucking hip-hop into breakdown bullshit all the time gets real tiresome and now means nothing. Because bands do that as an easy way to write an album in fucking 2 weeks. I was disappointed by this. D+, if that means anything. The Human Prosthetic just dropped a new album titled Locust. The Human Prosthetic is the solo project of frontman Travis Pitcher from Stand Abandoned. Local vocalist, local producer, all that jazz. He has an ear for talent, and he uses this stuff as a way to get guest features onto songs and showcase what they got, what the scene has got, and he has some fucking features on this one. He's got Rico from Lanterns, he's got Chase from Voluntary Victims, and my personal favorite, he's got Zorg of XI, a vocalist and rapper from the scene, and the song Locust goes insanely hard. Here's a clip. Bro, that was insane. Fast rapping and just the crispiest highs that I've ever heard. This is why this dude's my fucking longest running friend. Been friends with this kid for like since I was 10 years old. And he's still killing it. Crazy. Even though I'm super tight with both these dudes and this was an incredible listen, I think I would like it even more if these were like live instruments and not like that programmed feel. So I'll give it like a B+. because what was done great, but it could have been improved with real instruments and not computer stuff. But I've already told him that, so he knows. Exclusively available at this moment on the New Noise website, newnoisemagazine.com. But this song was just a burst of energy. Hardcore, punk rock, makes you want to jump up, wants to throw your fist, just a general good time. Pacing was great, the lyrics are great, with themes of holding true to yourself even though it's different than the way you were raised, just being true to yourself. And I can fuck with that. Now, they do have 2 of their songs, I believe, on Spotify and on Bandcamp, but this is the brand new one that dropped yesterday, and it's only available on the New Noise website. It's definitely my favorite of the 3, so I kind of like how they made that an exclusive release. But keep an eye out if you don't want to go to the website. It might be available very, very soon. But the new album drops the end of April, so you got some shit to look forward to.
'Cause that's the bottom line. 'Cause Stone Cold said so.
We didn't have too much to talk about this week, but you know what time it is. We ending this shit out. It's time for the plugs. March 17th in Worcester, Massachusetts, I am coming down to the Femme Bar with a great lineup of folks for a ladies and LGBT community showcase. It's going to be great. I've always heard about this place. The vibes look great online. I finally get to rock it at that venue because we got Miss Laura Michelle, we got E-Dubs, Jazzy Bell, Brid, Kadoma Rowe, Militia Rashad, Nel Faloco, Cali Royale, and yours truly. It is completely free. It is down in Worcester, Massachusetts on St. Patrick's Day. So come out, rage with us, respect the venue, have a great fucking time. Also, March 20th at Bad Burger in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's Jake from Rat Blood and Arms Like Teeth's birthday, 30th birthday party featuring Arms Like Teeth and Quick Before the Outbreak and Griffin the Band and Knives and I think her name is Dead in Your Eyes. I don't have the flyer in front of me right now. I might be fucking it up. But it's $15. It is all ages, and it's guaranteed to be a fucking banger. So come out, get loudy, get rowdy, get yourself a burger. It's going to be a fun one. The next day, March 21st, I am coming to Concord, New Hampshire, the city that raised me. And I'm playing at Panucci's for this Vinny's Hip Hop Festival. And the lineup is insane. We got B Snare and Vincent Tesoro. We got Michael Murphy III. We got KNG, Crispy, J Faith, East Craven, Michael Sativa, DJ Mo, and yours truly, Kill Murray. It is just $5 at the door. Just $5 fucking dollars. All the drinks you can want. As long as you get home safely, it's going to be one for the books. But if you want to see me in New Hampshire the next week, don't be discouraged. If you missed that show, I got one the day after, March 22nd. It's a Sunday. It's at the Bungalow Bar and Grill, where we got J-Vibe, Ace Don, Animatronic the Abolisher, Cryptic, and myself, alongside Connecticut nu metal band Symposia. It's $15 at the door. It is all ages. Come out, get rowdy, scream and rap your fucking head off. It's going to be one. It's 7 years in the making. Just Plain Filthy's first show back since 2019. We got many more shows after that, but that's all the time we have for it today. Next week, whole crop of different shows. Maybe a question that I pose to some of these people on these shows. I'll keep you in the loop. I'll tell you if anything cool comes down. We got a busy week ahead of us. So I will talk to you then. Have a good night.